All right, and just like that, the Range Rover has striked again. We have a coolant leak continuation from the first one that we did. If you didn't see that video, I have it linked down in the description below. And I replaced the upper hose that I thought resolved the problem, but it didn't. So we're back at square one. Well, actually square two. I have identified the leak using a radiator pressure test kit. I got it from Howard's Freight. I have a link to that down in the description as well. I was able to identify where the leak was coming from. So I didn't do that the first time, so this is half the battle, I guess, resolved. Kind of. So this is the tester. It's pretty much a hand pump similar to like a bicycle pump. And it comes with various caps that go onto, in my case, the expansion tank, because the radiator does not have its own cap, but it does have something for that as well. But anyway, you put that on, screw that down, and then put this on top, and then you apply pressure by pumping it. It has a bleed valve as well, so that's pretty cool, so you can relieve the pressure. But anyway, that's a little bit on that. So another little tip is, for Land Rover, it says use the orange cap. Don't do that. I spent 20 minutes trying to figure out why it was not pumping up. Turned out the orange cap is not the right one. This is number 5 if you do get the Harbor Freight kit. You want to use the black one, which is 22, and then you will be ready to rock and roll. So based on the test, when I apply pressure, it started leaking from the passenger side, just right behind the engine. So I'm thinking it is going to be maybe the heater hoses, or maybe there's some hoses running underneath the supercharger or the intake manifold. Hope not, because then that means I have to take all that stuff off. Well, the nightmare is true. It's leaking behind the supercharger. I don't know where exactly, but when I put my mirror behind it, a little mirror here, I was able to see that around the rim there are puddles of coolant. So that's probably why I can't really find it from any other hose or anything underneath. But now I see that there's puddles behind the back of the supercharger. Damn. So I guess now the question is, do I get it fixed by a shop or do I try it myself? I don't know. Okay, so it looks like I've discovered where the leak is. So after pressure testing, I saw that it was leaking down on the bell housing. I really didn't know where it was coming from until I took this piece off here. I believe that's the cabin filter. And now I have some more access to see down in here. And using my trusty mirror here, I can see that there is some leakage. Well, you probably can't see. Yep, that didn't work. All right. But nevertheless, it's leaking down back here. So I may have to take all of this off. I'm not sure. It'd be nice if I didn't have to and I could just take this off and access this. So here's a quick tip. If you didn't know, the hood can go all the way up into what is called a service mode, so you can have more access to inside the engine bay. So the struts, which is normally attached down here, you unhook that, and then this is loose. And then there is a support bracket here that you just slide over this little bolt here, and that will allow for it to stay up. And that happens on both sides. So as you can see, it's more vertical, and that way you can get a little bit more, well, actually a lot bit more accessibility. So I'm just pumping it back up just to see if I can see where it's leaking from now that I've taken all that stuff off. Pumping it up to 10, 15 PSI. Let's see if it's leaking out or if I can see it. Not quite yet. I'm only at 7 or 8. The tank can support up to 16 PSI, it said, per the manual. Oh, it sounds like it's leaking somewhere. Oh. Okay. Little leak there. Okay. Now we should be able to see something. Yep, there it is. Dang. Doesn't look like it's coming from the inside there. Thank the Lord. All right, you see down there? All that antifreeze, the pink stuff? It's leaking from that thing right there, because before it was dry. And then it's leaking down onto all of my wire components there, which is no good. All right, so I think we have discovered what needs to be changed. Perfect. Leave the pressure Amazing tool if you don't have one. Coolant pressure test or leak tester. I don't know what it's called. All right, so I think we have identified the part that is broken, so I'm going to order it. We'll touch bases again once the part comes in, and then we'll have it fixed. And hopefully, fingers crossed, that is the last of our coolant leaking issue. So we have discovered the part that is leaking. It's on the back of the engine, and it turns out to be the heater coolant tube. I got a aluminum one this go around. The one that comes on the car is plastic, and apparently it's known to crack. It's cracking right in that seam on the plastic one. So we got aluminum in hopes that it doesn't break. Should be fairly easy. I think I found a way to get it without taking off the whole supercharger and intake manifolds. So we're gonna try it. So it looks like we just have to take off this piece. There's a hose that connects to this side. It's holding the wiring harness. I think I could probably maneuver it off, but I don't know if it's worth it. I'm trying to use my hose clamp here. Don't know if I need it. I could just use pliers. It's a little long. Yeah, maybe I just use pliers. Come on, man. Try to keep y'all in here so you can see, but camera is getting in the way a little bit. We're able to disconnect the hose from here. So we just go push that up and out the way. This hose right here we got to get off, and then take off this piece here. This is the piece that's leaking, the heater coolant tube. We're gonna try a T27 torque bit first to see what we get. All right, we got one side off. There's only 4 bolts holding this part in. However, they're in a very tight location, so it took a little time trying to get the bolts off. It's disconnected. Now all we have to do is get the last holes off. Gotta squeeze it, but the angle is not ideal. Can't get a good grip. Guess we just have to take this off the bracket. Connect it completely. All right, there we go. All right, so we got the tube off. It looks like some pieces are broken inside here. That's probably happened from taking it off. So in the back, it was leaking out coolant. I don't really see a crack, but when I pressurized it, the coolant was coming from back here. But nevertheless, we have an aluminum one, which looks like this. So same piece, same parts, look like everything's in the same orientation. Got this off of Amazon. I'll have a link down in the description below if you want to get one, or you can get the OEM part, but obviously OEM's gonna cost a lot more, and it's an older truck, so got aftermarket, and it's supposed to be better, so we shall see. All right, so we did have this part that came off that I need to reattach to this. It goes over here, goes like this here, and it just clamps over it. So I want to put this on before attaching it to the motor because this is solid, it doesn't flex, so I wanted to put that on. All right, so there were some pieces left in there. Looks like the back side of, okay, yeah, so these gaskets go in this here, like that. So the new one already has that in there. That's the orange looking things right there. So I'm assuming this side is over there, so we need to get that one out as well. All right, so here's the other one. I think we're ready to rock and roll. All right, let's put this over here. This side was the easiest, so I'm gonna just start with this one. Back in there, then it probably will help guide it. We got this pipe back on. Now we just gotta, I think we should screw, or at least put the screws in for this side. All right, we got one bolt in. All right, that should be good enough to keep it in place. Let's put this bolt in. That does go there. All right. I put the hose back on the top here. Don't forget you got your wiring harness that has to be plugged in as well. It attaches to the side. So that's tight. Yeah, it doesn't need to be super tight. It is aluminum. All right, now we gotta get the other one on. I'm gonna use the power tool just to tighten it, or just to get it close, but I'm not gonna use it to tighten it, as we don't want to cause any damage to the aluminum part. All right, so we got all screws in there. Now we just gotta tighten them up. All right, all I'm gonna do now is tighten up these bolts over here. I don't have any torque spec, so I'm gonna tighten wrist tight, nothing too over the top. All right, so we got everything buttoned up. Now we just gotta put the sensor in here. Sensor's on. Don't forget you gotta put your clamp back down on the hose that goes on the top. All right, I think we got everything. We can't release this. Go ahead and bolt this back down. All right, make sure we double check everything. I think that's it, folks. We have the cover. There we go. We're good money. All right, so now that we have everything buttoned back up, got the new part on, I'm gonna pressure test it again and see if there's any leaks. Because sometimes you fix something and it starts leaking somewhere else. So we're gonna pump it to around 15 PSI and make sure that it holds the pressure. Almost there. All right, so we have 15 PSI. Go let it sit for a little bit, see if it leaks out. Still at 15. Check the new part that we just put in. None of the holes are leaking. All right, that looks good. Glad I did check. I left one of my rags. All right, don't see anything. Looking good. Just want to wipe everything down just in case there are new leaks, you can see it. All right, so it looks like we're good. I'm going to go ahead and fill it back up. I'm going to use a vacuum filler for putting the new coolant in. That way we can eliminate any air that may be in the system. All right, so I got this kit from Harbor Freight. It is a vacuum coolant system kit. It comes with different adapters so you can put it on your cap. This is my first time using it, but we're gonna vacuum the system to 25 PSI, and then that should get all the air out. Put this tube inside the coolant, and when you open up the valve, it will suck the coolant out, filling up the system. All right, so this goes on top of this, and then as you turn it, this swells up to lock it. But my opening is bigger than this adapter here. So we're gonna use an adapter to fit it in here, and it should fit snug. That way we can put this on top like that. That should be good. And then you're gonna twist this, and as I'm twisting, it's expanding to create that seal. All right, so one thing to remember with this vacuum system, you're gonna need an air compressor or shop air or whatever I have my air compressor, and we're gonna use that. So let's connect it. I don't know if I need to put the thread tape around there. Maybe I do. I probably should, just to create that seal. But it didn't mention that, so maybe I'm good. We'll keep it at that. It does come with a little hook if you want to hang it. Well, there you have it, folks. We're gonna need to put some thread locker on here. All right, so we got the thread tape on there. All right, so we got it all plugged in. It should be good to go. We got our air compressor right here, going to the air compressor. And then our coolant tube, we're gonna put that filter into here. I had to do some modifications. I had to cut that open to fit the filter. But after that, we should be good. It did say to open up your heater outlet or your heater controls in the car to let the full system be vacuumed. Hey, that worked. I was trying to put it at the bottom. It wants to float because you want to make sure that this is fully submerged. There we go. So let's go ahead and open up the air valve. So it is going up. With the system under vacuum, we can release the valve and start the coolant flowing.
releasing some of the air, if any, from the bleeding ports. With it flowing, I'm checking to make sure there's no leaks. Once that's done, we take everything off. And then start her up.
All right. Man, that's a huge difference. Well, part 2 complete. Hopefully that is the final part. If you like this video, give me that thumbs up, and thanks for watching. See you in the next one. I'm out.